Romance of the Three Kingdoms, Chapter 67.
Cao Cao's western push into Hanzhong. It was huge, and he set it up methodically. Classic Cao Cao style, really. He had a vanguard Xiao Yuan, Zhang leading the charge, then the main force, Cao Cao himself in command, and a rear guard, Cao Ren and Xiahou Dun handling the vital stuff, logistics, supplies. Looked solid on paper.
But Zhang Lu wasn't just sitting there. His brother, Zhang Wei, gave him some sharp advice. Fortify Yangping Pass. It's a natural stronghold. So Zhang Lu sent generals Yang Ang and Yang Ren, and they really dug in, set up like over 10 camps, all linked up in the mountains and forests. It's basically turned Yangping Pass into a seriously tough nut to crack, a huge challenge for Cao Cao right off the bat.
And yeah, Cao Cao hit that wall pretty fast. Xiao Yuan and Zhang He, his vanguard, they were tired from the march. They camped maybe 7 or 8 kilometers from the pass, 15 li, and bam, night raid. Yang Ang and Yang Ren just swept down, burned the camp, totally routed Cao Cao's vanguard. Cao Cao heard, and he was livid. Apparently wanted to execute his generals right then and there. Others had to talk him down. A real wake-up call, wasn't it? Even for him.
Well, exactly. And the insight here isn't just, be vigilant. It's deeper. It shows even a genius like Cao Cao with a well-planned force could get caught out by, fatigue and maybe overconfidence. Suggests that real strategy means anticipating not just the big moves, but these everyday vulnerabilities, too.
So faced with this setback, Cao Cao, he shifted gears. He realized it wasn't just about sending more troops. It needed his personal attention. So he decides to scout the terrain himself. Which is kind of crazy when you think about it. The big boss, just 2 generals with him, Xu Chu and Xu Wang, heading into hostile territory. That's hands-on leadership, isn't it? Very bold.
Oh, incredibly bold. And this is where it gets really dicey. As they're picking their way through these mountain paths, ambush, Yang Ang and Yang Ren again, arrows flying everywhere, a desperate moment for Cao Cao himself. But then Xu Chu steps up, just extraordinary bravery. He single-handedly holds off both enemy generals, just him, buys time for Xu Huang to get Cao Cao out of the direct line of fire. I mean, that's pure heroism, loyalty saving the commander's life. The stuff of legends, truly.
And talk about timing, just when it looked really bad. Xiahou Yuan and Zhang He show up with reinforcements, the same guys who got routed earlier. They managed to push back Yang Ang and Yang Ren, save Cao Cao. Phew. And what's really telling is Cao Cao's reaction. He doesn't just say thanks. He rewards all 4 generals generously. Xiahou Yuan, Zhang He, Xu Chu, Xu Huang. Shows he could recognize courage, reward it, even after a screw-up. Turned a disaster into, maybe, a bonding moment. 2, the shifting tides. Deception, fog, and a costly pursuit. Okay, so after that close call, things kind of settled down. A stalemate lasted over 50 days. No big battles. Cao Cao was clearly thinking. And that's when his strategist, Jie comes in with this brilliant, sneaky idea. Feign a full retreat. Make like you're giving up. Now, this is a classic move, but what made it so clever here? What was Cao Cao trying to exploit?
Right. The genius was in the details. It wasn't just a retreat. It was tailored. Cao Cao wanted to make Yang Ang and Yang Ren specifically feel complacent, cocky even, make them think, okay, he's gone, we won. Lower their guard completely. That would create the opening he needed for his light cavalry. Xiahou Yuan and Zhang Gang, he again, each with 3,000 riders. They'd sneak around using hidden mountain paths, bypass the main pass, and hit them from behind. Pure tactical deception. Using the landscape, using psychology, masterful. And this thing with Yang Ang, it wasn't just his own hubris. Cao Cao fed that hubris, you see. Engineered it almost.
And one of Zhang Lu's generals completely fell for it. There was this argument inside Zhang Lu's camp. Yang Ang was all fired up. He desperately wanted to chase Cao Cao's retreating army, convinced it was real. But Yang Ren, he was smarter. He warned him, hang on, this is Cao Cao. He's tricky. We don't know what he's really up to.
Yeah.
Argued against chasing. But Yang Ang wouldn't listen. Too eager for glory. So he goes off, leaving his camps pretty much undefended. Big mistake.
Huge mistake. And it really drives home how these human elements like overconfidence can just wreck strategy. Yang Ang's eagerness wasn't just a personality flaw. It was the exact weakness Cao Cao's plan targeted. Shows you can't ignore sound advice, especially when facing someone like Cao Cao.
And then something completely unexpected happens. Pure chance. A fog rolls in. A really dense fog. Suddenly you could barely see your hand in front of your face. Just imagine that battlefield.
Yeah.
Eerie. Confusing.
And this fog, it becomes the accidental game changer. It's wild. Xiahou Yuan's cavalry, the ones sneaking around, they get lost in this pea soup or they accidentally stumble right towards Yang Ang's camps. The guards inside, they can't see anything clearly. They just assume it's Yang Ang coming back. So they open the gates, just like that. Cao's cavalry floods in, finds the camps basically empty, and sets them on fire. You could call it luck, but it's also about seizing the moment, right? Adapting instantly.
And Yang Ang's whole position just collapsed instantly. His troops see the fires, chaos erupts, they scatter. Then Zhang, he arrives with his forces, cutting off any retreat. Yang Ang rides back, finds his camp's gone, burning, he's trapped, ends up fighting Zhang, and dies in the battle. Meanwhile, Yang Wen is defeated, forced to pull back.
And that was the final domino. Zhang Wei, back at Yangping Pass, hears about it. Camp's lost, generals defeated or dead, he knows it's over. So, under the cover of darkness, he just abandons Yangping Pass, slips away. Cao Cao then walks in, takes the pass, takes all the camps without another fight. It's just amazing how that blend of cunning deception and sheer unexpected luck, the fog, completely flipped the campaign.
The lure of valor. Pang De, bribery, and betrayal. So Yangping Pass is gone. Zhang Lu's getting pretty desperate now. At first, he's furious with Yang Ren, blaming him for Yang Ang messing up. But Yang Ren argues his case, pleads for one more chance, says, let me fight Cao Cao myself. Zhang Lu agrees. A last roll of the dice.
And Yang Ren, you have to give him credit, he fought bravely, led 20,000 troops out. His subordinate, Zhang Shi, though, gets taken down pretty quickly by Xiahou Yuan. Then Yang Ren himself fights Xiahou Yuan. A long duel, over 30 rounds. Fierce. But then Xiahou Yuan pulls a trick, feigns retreat, uses this dragging saber move, basically lures Yang Ren close, then spins and strikes, catches Yang Ren off guard, kills him. It really shows the skill of Cao Cao's generals. Not just strength, but clever tactics in the heat of battle.
Yeah, so Cao Cao keeps advancing, reaches Nanchang. And this is where Pang De enters the picture. He was a famous warrior, used to fight for Ma Chao, another fierce fighter. People knew Pang De was tough and loyal. Zhang Lu's advisor, Yan Pu, suggests using him, maybe their best shot left. But here's the interesting thing. Cao Cao knew Pang De too, knew how good he was. And Cao Cao didn't just want to beat him. He wanted Pang De on his side. What does that tell you?
It tells you Cao Cao was always playing the long game. He recognized exceptional talent, even in enemies. His plan to get Pang De wasn't just brute force, it was subtle. He told his own top generals, Zhang He, Xiahou Yuan, Xu Huang, Xu Chu, fight him, but don't beat him. Engage for a few rounds, then pretend to retreat. Wear him down physically, mentally. Soften him up. It's incredible foresight, right? Targeting a specific individual like that. Valuing talent above all else.
And then Jishu layers on another scheme. Even more cunning, maybe. Ruthless. He plans this whole bribery thing, aimed at turning Pang De against Zhang Lu and the weak link. Zhang Lu's advisor, Yang Song, who is apparently known for being incredibly greedy.
Yeah, this was psychological warfare at its most cynical, really. Exploiting greed. The execution was flawless, step by step. First, Cao Cao's army pretends to lose again. They abandon a camp packed with supplies. Pang De, naturally, walks in, takes the camp, thinks he's won a great victory, reports back to Zhang Lu, feeling pretty good. But then, that night, Cao Cao hits him hard, three-pronged attack. Xu Huang and Xu Chu right up the middle. Zhang He, Xiahou Yuan on the flanks. Forces Pang De back into Nanchang in disarray. And here's the crucial bit. In all that chaos, one of Cao Cao's spies, disguised as one of Pang De's own soldiers, slips into the city, finds Yang Song, gives him a bribe, a gold breastplate, and a secret letter from Cao Cao.
And the effect is immediate and devastating. Yang Song, seeing the gold, instantly goes to Zhang Lu, makes up this whole story. Pang De took Cao Cao's bribe he lost on purpose. His Zhang Lu, maybe already suspicious or just easily influenced by Yang Song, believes him. He's enraged, wants to execute Pang De right away. Yan Pu, the advisor who recommended Pang De, has to step in again. Saves his life for now, but Pang De is ordered. Fight tomorrow, win or you die.
It's just chilling how easily it worked. How Yang Song's lies destroyed trust. Think about Pang De. A loyal general, falsely accused, now fighting not just the enemy, but for his own honor, his own life. The pressure must have been immense. It's a really dark tactic by Jia and Cao Cao. Truly Machiavellian.
Oh, the fall of Hanzhong.
Yeah.
Honor, treachery, and ironic justice. So Pang De has to fight.
Yeah.
His reputation, his life, everything's on the line. He goes out, fights desperately. Xu Chu engages him. And again, following the plan, Xu Chu pretends to be defeated, draws Pang De after. It's all leading somewhere.
Exactly. It leads to the final trap. Cao Cao is watching from a nearby hill. He calls out to Pang De, why not surrender? Offers him a way out. But Pang De, maybe seeing a chance to capture Cao Cao himself, turn the tables. He charges up the hill and falls right into a hidden pit. A classic ambush trap. Soldiers rush in with hooks, grab him, capture him alive. Just meticulous planning by Cao Cao. Psychology, terrain, timing, all perfectly combined.
And what Cao Cao does next is just masterful psychology. He gets off his horse, tells his soldiers to back off, and unties Pang De himself. Personally. Then he speaks to him not as a captor, but almost reasonably. Points out how Zhang Lu doubted him, treated him unfairly, appeals to his sense of justice. And Pang De, realizing his own lord didn't trust him, he surrenders. Cao Cao immediately honors him. As Pang Di ride beside him back towards camp, make sure Zhang Lu, watching from the walls of Nanjing, sees this. Sees his traitorous general riding with Cao Cao.
Absolutely brutal. It cements Yang Song's lie in Zhang Lu's mind. Undermines morale completely. Just brilliant, ruthless theater.
So the siege of Nanchang begins properly. Inside, Zhang Wei suggests scorching the earth, burn everything food, treasure, and flee to Bazan. Deny Cao Cao the resources. But Yang Song predictably argues for surrender. Zhang Lu makes a really surprising choice here. He decides to flee, yes, but he refuses to burn the supplies. Said something like, "These belong to the state, not to me."
Yeah, it shows this unexpected core of principle in him, doesn't it? Even facing defeat, an integrity totally lacking in his advisor.
And interestingly, Cao Cao seems to respect that. He doesn't chase Zhang Lu down immediately. Instead, he sends envoys, trying to persuade him to surrender formally, honorably. Maybe he saw something admirable in that refusal to destroy the state's resources.
Possibly. But Yang Song wasn't done being treacherous. Oh no. He sends another secret message to Cao Cao. Basically says, if you attack Bazong where Zhang Lu fled, I'll help you from the inside. Just trying to squeeze every last bit of personal gain out of his lord's downfall. Unbelievable.
The endgame plays out quickly then. Cao Cao leads his army to Bazong himself. Zhang Wei tries to fight back one last time, but Xu Chu cuts him down. Zhang Lu gets ready for a final stand inside the city. Yang Song encourages him, "You lead the troops out, I'll guard the city." Zhang Lu goes out, fights, has to retreat, and finds the city gates slammed shut behind him. Yang Song has locked him out. No escape. Cao Cao calls out to him. Zhang Lu, seeing it's hopeless, gets off his horse and surrenders.
And the aftermath is fascinating. The justice is swift and very pointed. Cao Cao rewards Zhang Lu, treats him well, gives him a title, general who guards the south. He honors Zhang Lu's officials too, respect for that earlier principled stand perhaps, but Yang Song. He gets dragged out and executed immediately, publicly in the marketplace. The charge, selling out his lord for glory. There's even a poem about him basically saying all his scheming and gold came to nothing. He died shamed, a laughingstock for centuries. It's a stark message from Cao Cao. Principled loyalty, even in defeat, is valued. Treachery for personal gain, that gets punished. Hard. Cao Cao. He's at this crossroads right after winning Hanzhong, which was a big deal.
Dong Tuan secured.
Right. And his chief clerk, Sima Yu, and Li Ye too, they're basically telling him, go now, invade Shu. Their argument is, Liu Bei's hold isn't solid yet, the people aren't fully behind him.
Yeah, and they add that Cao Cao's presence alone has already shaken the region. Sima Shi really pushes it. The wise seize the moment must not be lost. It's pure opportunism, militarily speaking.
Strike while the iron's hot.
Exactly. Exploit that perceived weakness before Liu Bei can dig in, before his government stabilizes. Keep the momentum going.
But Cao Cao, he pauses. And he says something really interesting, this famous idiom, "Hushier," which is like, people suffer from never being satisfied. You get long, now you want Shu too.
It's almost a philosophical beat, isn't it? Right there in the middle of a military campaign brief. He's actually questioning the drive for constant expansion.
Yeah, it adds this layer to him. Is it wisdom? Is it weariness? Maybe both.
It definitely raises that leadership question. He's ambitious, obviously, but here he's weighing the cost, maybe thinking about his troops, the supply lines. Is more conquest always the right move?
And Liu Ye jumps back in, sensing that hesitation. He doubles down on Sima Yi's point, warning him, look, if you wait, Zhuge Liang will lock things down. Guan Yu, Zhang Fei, they'll fortify everything. Shu will become impregnable.
He's underlining how quickly that window could close. Zhuge Liang was known for his administrative skill, not just battlefield tactics. Given time, and that opportunity vanishes. Tactical moments, they're perishable.
So you've got this strong advice. Invade now. But Cao Cao, in the end, he focuses on his soldiers. He says, basically, the troops are exhausted from the long march. They need care. And he decides to keep them stationary.
He postpones the invasion.
It's such a classic leadership dilemma, isn't it? Seize the moment versus consolidate and care for your people. If you were advising him right then, what factors would you be screaming about?
Well, it shows consideration, definitely. Humane, maybe. But strategically, he essentially gave Liu Bei breathing room. The key factor should have been solid intel on Shu's actual state. How quickly could they really stabilize? And maybe a harder look at the long-term risk of not pushing an advantage versus pushing tired troops. It's a tough balance.
And that breathing room. Liu Bei definitely felt the pressure before Cao Cao decided to pause. Back in Shu, the people were apparently freaking out. Just waves of panic about Cao Cao invading.
Understandably so. Cao Cao's reputation preceded him. So Liu Bei naturally turns to his ace strategist, Zhuge Liang.
And this is where Zhuge Liang just pulls off a masterstroke. Instead of bracing for a fight Liu Bei probably can't win yet, he comes up with this plan to make Cao Cao self-retreat. It's brilliant, indirect strategy.
Completely. It leverages the existing tensions on the map. Zhuge Liang knew Cao Cao was always worried about Sun Quan in the east.
Right. That worry kept a chunk of Cao Cao's army tied down near Hefei.
Exactly. So Zhuge Liang's idea is, okay, let's play on that. Liu Bei should give back 3 commanderies, Jiangxia, Changsha, Guiyang, to Sun Quan. Sweeten the pot.
Give back land. That sounds counterintuitive.
It does, but wait. Then send a really persuasive envoy, a facer, to convince Sun Quan to attack Hefei. The thinking is this will affect Cao Cao's overall position, force him to pull troops away from the west, away from Shu, to deal with the eastern threat.
Wow. So it's not even about Liu Bei fighting Cao Cao directly. It's about manipulating the other players.
Precisely. It's high-level geopolitical maneuvering. Using Cao Cao's fear of Sun Quan and Sun Quan's own ambition against Cao Cao himself, all without Liu Bei having to risk his own forces significantly at that moment. It's a battle of wits, of alliances.
Incredible. And this guy, Yuji, steps up for the job. He has to go tell Guan Yu first. It just shows, even if you seem like the weaker player, you can use your rival's fears against them. Play the long game.
Absolutely. It's a deep understanding of the power dynamics. The real fight here is happening in the strategic planning, anticipating moves way down the line.
Okay, so Yuji is on his way. The Eastern Front is about to heat up. He gets to Moling, Sun Quan's capital, and makes his pitch.
He formally hands back the 3 commanderies first. That's the opener.
Then he drops this line, very strategically, about how Cao Cao taking Dongchuan left General Guan Yu, Liu Bei's man, in Jingzhou, without a place to stand. It subtly paints Cao Cao as a threat to both of them.
That's skillful diplomacy right there. He's not just returning land. He's weaving this narrative suggesting we're in this together against the big guy. He's framing an attack on Hefei as being in Wu's interest too.
And then he lays it out. Attack Hefei now, it's Hongul, vulnerable. And if Liu Bei manages to secure Dongquan, partly thanks to this diversion, then Hongwu, all of Jingzhou will be returned later. That's a huge prize.
It is. Now, Sun Quan consults his advisors. And Zhang Zhao, he's sharp. He sees right through it. Says basically, Kaisue, this is Liu Bei's scheme because he's scared Cao Cao will take Shu.
So he knows it's self-serving for Liu Bei.
He does. But, and this is key, he still calls it the hen, the best plan available. Why? Because Cao Cao is tied up in Hanzhong for the moment. So even knowing Liu Bei's motives, the timing works for Wu. It's pragmatic.
Sun Quan buys it. He sends Yi back, starts prepping his army. He gets Lu Su to take charge of the returned lands and recalls his big guns Lu Meng, Gan Ning, Ling Tong. Things are moving fast.
And Lu Meng, when he arrives, he adds another layer of tactical brilliance. He says, don't go straight for Hefei. Hit Wancheng first.
Wancheng. Why there?
Because, as Lu Meng points out, Wancheng is a major area rice fields. It's where grain is being stockpiled for Hefei's army. Taking Wancheng means cutting Hefei's supply line, starve them out, or weaken them significantly before the main assault.
Ah, logistical warfare. Smart.
Very smart. It's thinking beyond just the clash of armies. Lu Meng understood that attacking the enemy's ability to sustain themselves could be incredibly effective, especially for Wu, which often face larger forces, undermine their infrastructure.
Sun Quan loves the idea, praises Lu Meng, makes him and Gan Ning the vanguards. They head straight for Wancheng. The prefect there, Zhu Guang, he holes up, sends for help from Hefei, and starts raining down arrows. They even hit Sun Quan's canopy.
Shows the defense was ready, at least initially. But Lu Meng wasn't thinking about a traditional slow siege.
Right, because other generals start suggesting, build earth mounds, use siege ladders, the usual stuff.
Slow stuff.
Exactly. And Lu Meng argues, no, that takes too long. Hefei's relief force will get here. He insists on an immediate all-out assault now, while their own army's morale is sky-high. He predicts they can take the city by noon or early afternoon the next day.
He's betting on speed and shock value. He understands that the initial momentum, that fighting spirit, is a resource you can spend. Waiting allows the enemy to regroup and your own guys to lose that edge. Sometimes the boldest move is actually the safest because it disrupts the enemy's OODA loop, their ability to react.
And boy, was he right. Sun Quan gives the okay. Next morning, they attack fiercely. Gan Ning, supposedly using an iron chain, climbs the wall under heavy fire, takes out Zhu Guang himself. Lu Meng is right there, beating the drums, urging them on.
Incredible image.
And Wan Sheng falls, not by noon, but by Ray, like between 7 and 9 a.m., super fast. Zhang Liao, leading the relief force from Hefei, hears the news while he's still on the road and just turns around.
A stunningly quick victory. It really showcases Lu Meng's ability to read the situation and adapt.
Yeah.
What's the lesson there, do you think, about seizing that opportunity?
I think it shows genius isn't just the plan, it's the execution, right? Reading the moment. Lu Meng saw that hitting hard and fast, using that peak morale, was better than getting bogged down. He basically denied the defenders any chance to settle in or get reinforced.
Precisely. He collapsed their decision cycle.
Yeah.
Okay, so Wan Sheng falls, victory. Sun Quan enters the city, rewards everyone, throws a big party, lots of praise for Lu Meng and Gan Ning.
You'd think it's all smooth sailing now, but uh-oh. Victory feasts can sometimes bring old tensions to the surface, and this one definitely did.
Right, because even with a big win, these are still people with histories, with grudges, and Sun Quan needs them working together.
So, as the party's going on, Lin Tong remember him. His father was killed by Gan Ning years ago in another conflict. He starts getting agitated. Seeing Gan Ning getting all this praise, it just rubs him the wrong way.
Understandable, human reaction, but dangerous in this context.
Fueled by wine, Ling Tong grabs a sword, says he wants to dance, which, probably doesn't mean dancing.
Not usually, no.
Yeah?
Especially not in that setting with that history.
Gan Ning gets it immediately. He shoves the table aside, grabs 2 halberds, and says he'll dance too. The tension must have been electric.
Oh, absolutely. This could have turned into a bloodbath right there at the victory banquet, crippling Sun Quan's command structure. It shows how fragile unity can be when these deep personal issues exist. The commander has to manage not just the enemy, but his own volatile team.
Thankfully, Lu Meng, quick thinking again, jumps in, grabs a shield and a saber, and literally dances between them, physically keeping them apart.
Buys some time, diffuses the immediate confrontation.
Sun Quan gets wind of it, rushes over. He reminds them sternly about his order. No bringing up yacht feuds. Ling Tong apparently breaks down crying, prostrates himself. Sun Quan manages to smooth things over eventually. But wow, what a moment. How do leaders even deal with that kind of thing? Preventing internal combustion.
It takes, well, exactly what we saw. Quick intervention like Lu Meng's to stop the immediate violence, and then decisive leadership like Sun Quan's, reminding everyone of the rules, the bigger picture, the common goal. You have to enforce discipline, but also maybe understand the emotions, even if you can't let them run wild. It's a constant balancing act.
That tense scene shifts focus back to Hefei. Zhang Liao is now facing the music. He's back in the city, upset about Wansheng falling, and he knows Sun Quan's main army, 100,000 strong, is heading his way. Dire straits.
Absolutely. He's outnumbered, potentially cut off, and just saw his supply base get wiped out.
Then the sealed wooden box arrives from Cao Cao with this instruction on it.
Ultimate when the bandits
A
arrive.
classic Cao Cao. Builds suspense, reinforces his control even from afar. It's a psychological tool as much as a tactical instruction. Gives his commanders a sense that he's foreseen this, he has a plan. So when word comes that Sun Quan's huge army is approaching, Zhang Liao opens the box. The orders are clear. Zhang Liao and another general, Li Dian, are to sally out and fight. Yu Jin is to stay and defend the city walls.
That's bold. Very bold. Cao Cao, even from Hanzhong, is ordering an offensive move against a vastly superior force. He's not telling them to just turtle up. He trusts his commanders.
And Zhang Liao embraces it. He proposes this incredibly daring strategy. He says basically, look, our Lord Cao Cao is far away. The Wu army thinks they can just roll over us. So let's hit them first, go out, fight hard, break their initial charge, shatter their confidence. That will steady our own troops' nerves. Then we can defend the city properly.
It's brilliant psychology. He knows the biggest danger isn't just the numbers, it's fear and low morale among his own men. A quick, aggressive counterpunch can change the whole dynamic, make the enemy hesitate, and inspire his own forces. Seize the initiative.
But here's the snag. That old feud pops up again. Li Dian, the general supposed to fight alongside Zhang Liao. He has this long-standing beef with Zhang Liao, so he just stays silent. Yu Jin, the defender, suggests playing it safe, sticking to defense given the numbers.
So the internal friction is threatening to derail this bold plan.
Zhang Liao gets frustrated. He basically says, fine, you're all thinking about your personal issues, not the public duty. I'll go out myself and fight to the death if I have to.
Yeah. Now, that's leadership. He's not just planning, he's putting everything on the line, shaming them in a way, with his own commitment. His willingness to sacrifice himself for the cause becomes this powerful motivator.
And it works. Lin Dian is moved. He stands up and says, "Tuatamaka." Essentially, if the general is willing to do this, how can I let my private grudge interfere with our public duty? I'll follow your command.
Incredible moment. It really shows how duty and the example of a truly committed leader can sometimes override even deep personal animosity, especially when survival is on the line. Zhang Liao made the stakes clear. This is bigger than us.
Zhang Liao is thrilled, obviously. They finalize the plan for the next day. Lin Dian will take troops and set an ambush north of this place called Xiao Ford. Crucially, he's to break the small master bridge, cutting off an escape route. Then Zhang Liao and Yujin will launch their attack.
The trap is meticulously planned, using the terrain, coordinating forces, aiming to isolate and destroy the enemy command.
So Sun Quan's army marches towards Hefei. Lu Meng and Gan Ning are leading the vanguard. They run into Yujin.
Who is part of the bait.
Exactly. They clash a bit, Yujin pretends to lose, and retreats. Lu Meng and Gan Ning, thinking they've won an early skirmish, charge after him.
Falling right into it. The feigned retreat works perfectly, drawing the vanguard forward away from the main body.
Sun Quan, back with the main force, hears about the supposed victory and pushes his troops forward eagerly towards Xiao Ford. Then, bang! Cannon fire erupts. The signal. Zhang Liao hits them from the left, Li Dian ambushes from the right.
Pandemonium. Complete surprise. Sun Quan's army, expecting an easy march, is suddenly be caught in a pincer movement. The source says Zhang Liao's attack was like a mountain collapsing on them.
Sun Quan is panicking, trying to call back Lu Meng and Gan Ning, but it's too late. The chaos is overwhelming. Ling Tong, remember him? He's there with about 300 cavalry, fighting like mad, trying to get Sun Quan to safety, urging him towards that small master bridge.
A desperate rearguard action.
Sun Quan races for the bridge, only to find Li Dian's men have already done their job. A section, maybe 10 feet or more, is just gone. Broken. He's trapped.
The escape route is cut, just as planned. Sun Quan is stranded, facing Zhang Liao's charging cavalry. The text says he was paralyzed with fear.
You can picture it. Utter terror. But then, one of his officers, Goulet, shouts at him. "See, my lord, back your horse up, then charge it forward and jump the gap."
An insane suggestion, born of desperation.
Sun Quan does it. He backs up maybe 30 feet, charges full tilt, and his horse makes this incredible leap across the broken section of the bridge. The poem compares it to Liu Bei's famous escape on Dilu, saying, "A jade dragon flew over Xiaoyao Ford." What a moment. Beyond just saving his life, what did that leap signify?
Oh, it became instantly legendary. It wasn't just bravery. It was seen as almost proof of his mandate, his destiny to rule. In an age where the leader's survival was paramount for the state's survival, this miraculous escape boosted his authority, his charisma, immeasurably. It ensured Wu didn't collapse right then and there, and it echoed down through history. Personal courage became political capital.
The aftermath, though, is grim for Wu. Sun Quan makes it to safety, rescued by boats, but Ling Tong and Gu Li are still fighting off Zhang Liao. Ling Tong's 300 men, all killed. He himself is badly wounded, escapes only by swimming, and gets pulled from the water.
A heavy price for his loyalty.
And Lu Meng and Gan Ning. They try to circle back to help, but Yujin pursues them, and Li Dian intercepts them. The Wu army loses suture of most of its soldiers. It's a total rout.
Absolutely devastating. What started as a confident offensive turns into one of Wu's worst defeats. And it elevates Zhang Liao to legendary status almost overnight.
No kidding. The psychological impact was huge. It says, everyone south of the Yangtze was terrified. Hearing Zhang Liao's name, even babies wouldn't dare cry at night.
That's how much fear he instilled. His name alone became a weapon, a deterrent that shaped strategy in the region for years. It shows how a single battle, especially one involving such a dramatic reversal and the leader's near-death experience, can echo far beyond the battlefield.
So one battle completely flips the script. Zhang Liao, worried Sun Quan might regroup and come back, sends word to Cao Cao asking for reinforcements.
Smart move. Consolidate the win.
Meanwhile, Cao Cao, still in Hanzhong, reevaluates. He asks his advisors again about attacking Shu.
Interesting. He's reconsidering now that the eastern situation has changed so dramatically thanks to Zhang Liao, shows his strategic thinking is constantly adapting.
But Liu Ye, the pragmatist, advises against it now. He says also, Hu age o. Basically, Shu is more stable now, they're prepared, don't attack. The window Sima Yi saw earlier, it's closed.
Thanks, ironically, to Zhu Jiang's plan working too well in distracting Cao Cao initially, and then perhaps Cao Cao's own delay allowing Liu Bei time to consolidate.
So Cao Cao pivots again. He decides, okay, forget Shu for now. Priority 1 is reinforcing Hu Fei, making sure Zhang Liao can hold it. Then the next move will be an attack on Zhengnan Sun Quan's heartland.
A major strategic shift. He abandons the Western campaign, leaves Xiahou Yuan and Zhang He to guard Hanzhong, and turns his full attention east. This shows incredible flexibility. He's reacting to the victory at Hefei, recognizing the chance to perhaps break the Sunlu alliance, or at least put serious pressure on Wu.